So we're going to solve by factoring. So there's a number that when you square it, and then you take away 2 times that number, and then you take away 24, you get 0. There's going to be 2 numbers that make this true. And so there's many different ways to solve. We're going to focus in on solving by factoring. And so when I look at this, I count and I go, there's 1, 2, 3 terms. Anytime you see 3 terms, you should be thinking of the x, the factor x. And so I also noticed that the first number is a 1. These are actually pretty easy. So I make my factor x, and then I put this number on top here. And I put the middle number on bottom. And I am trying to find 2 numbers that multiply to negative 24 but add to negative 2. And those of you that are really good at multiplication tables, you could probably spit out the answer. So when I'm thinking of negative 24, what multiplies to negative 24 but adds to negative 2, negative 6 and 4. Negative 6 times 4 is negative 24. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. From there, I can make my factors. I put x minus 6, x plus 4. And I get that. Now, if they said factor the polynomial, I'm done. If they said what is the factored form, I'm done. If they said give me a factor, I could give them this one or this one. These are both factors. But they want me to solve. So how do you solve something in factored form? Well, to solve, that's when does it cross the x-axis? That's y equals 0. So we need to solve this. And what we're going to use is called the zero product property. And the zero product property basically says if you're going to multiply 2 things together, so I know it's kind of hard to see the 2 things, but we have this times this. That's multiplication. If we're going to multiply those and get 0, then either this is 0 or this is 0. You can't multiply and get 0 unless one of those is 0. So using that property, I could say that x minus 6 is 0. Either this is 0 or x plus 4 is 0. Solving that, what number minus 6 is 0 would be 6. Solving this, what number plus 4 is 0 would be negative 4. Most kids just memorize that it's the opposite. Negative 6 becomes 6. Positive 4 becomes negative 4. Another way you could think of it is you're trying to solve for x. So what number minus 6 is 0? Remember, you could solve this by adding 6 to both sides. So then you get x is 0 plus 6, which is 6. And then to solve for x here, you would minus 4 from both sides. And you get x is negative 4. These are called linear factors. So what we're doing is we're taking something from the second power and dropping it to what's called linear factors, 2 lines. And those are easier to get the answers from. So that's the process of factoring. So I think the answer is 6. I think the answer is negative 4. What that means is if you go to your calculator and you were to plug 6 in for x, you should get 0. So let's try it. Let's plug in 6. 6 squared minus 2 times 6 minus 24. I should get 0. I did. That's a solution. That's a number that makes this a true statement. The other number that should work, I can't remember what it was negative 4. That was our other solution. So when I plug negative 4 in, negative 4 squared minus 2 times negative 4 minus 24 should also be 0. And it is 0. So those are the two numbers that make this true. When x is 6 or when x is negative 4. Another way you could check your work, there's multiple ways. You could go here and distribute and try to get this back, or you could go look at this and does. So the original quadratic was x squared minus 2x minus 24. What are the solutions by graphing? The solutions by graphing are negative 4 and positive 6, exactly what I just wrote down. Notice it's way easier with graphing. Okay? You see how I check my answers that way? So the solution just means when does it cross the x-axis. So now what I want you to do is I want you to try number 3 from the practice. And so if you're at home, you can hit pause and we'll go over this, not as in much detail, but we'll at least put up the solution here in a second. So again, you're solving this by factoring. You are not solving by graphing. So go ahead and hit pause. So number 3, super quick. First, I'll write down the problem. X squared minus 6x plus 9 is 0. And then I'm trying to find two numbers that multiply to 9 but add to negative 6. That would be negative 3 and negative 3. So then I put x minus 3, x minus 3. Solve that, and I get x minus 3 equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. So then I get x equals 3, or x equals 3, because 3 minus 3 is 0. So I have my two solutions. They are the same solution. Anytime you get the same solution twice, it'll look like this. So over here at 3, it's going to have multiplicity there, so it's going to come down, and it's going to be the same root twice. That's when you know you have multiplicity. So that's the reason why it looks like that. So if I were to graph this in Desmos, it looks like this. The solution is 3, technically twice.